All right, here we go. Justin Quintal, a 4-time Vans Duct Tape champion, is out in the water. He's also the 2019 World Longboard champion. He's up against Kaniela Stewart, coming from the South Shore of Oahu, a young, exciting surfer with tons of style. I love this matchup.
1,100 points is going to help him at Malibu. But Justin not competing at Manly, this is an important result. So Kani, middle of the board, that's a really nice wave for Kani, a bigger set wave. And he's just feeling his feet rolling around on this wave. He's going to see if he can link the inside.
I love the style of Kaniela Stewart. It's just a classic style. Quick feet. Look at the footwork that he's able to get. Using the board up and down, and a nice finish. Look at that's a great start for Kaniela Stewart, Peter.
It is so true, Kaipo. Again, just utilized the entire wave, had the outside maneuvers done, made sure he got the inside maneuvers done, especially when he had his foot kind of lift off his board, but able to get it back planted.
Yeah, we have a look. One of the biggest improvements in Kaniela's surfing has been his footwork in between transitions. See that, utilizing that middle, stepping back into that carve. That's something we wouldn't have seen a few years ago. And there he is, just setting this up. You can see that little cross step to maintain momentum through the trim spot in the middle of the board, stepping back. And this wave's dead. You're Huntington hopping on a shortboard, and he gets 2 little quick fives and finishes. Now, very crucial he finished, and see how he rides out of that with momentum and speed.
That part, he just kind of keeps it normal, you know, even though this is a very critical and important event, especially since he wasn't in Manly, to make sure that he able to get a solid result, because if he wants another world title, a win here is a great way to start, because then, however high he finishes in that Malibu event, which I'm assuming he would be here for as we watch this replay.
So, sort of like a grovelly wave by today's standard, and Justin's not going to fancy himself against those 5 guys on a right-hand point break to take the win over them, obviously.
Kaniela Stewart camping out on the nose with that 10.
Oh, he threw a tent, campfire, had some coffee.
He was on the nose so long he had to pay rent, I bet. You know what I mean? He just... Here we go.
No connection, though.
Didn't make the connection on the inside, but what a beautiful start for Kaniela Stewart, Matt.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do another Bruce Brown reference there. He's up there long enough to make himself a ham sandwich. Lance Carson at Malibu. You know, tying in the Malibu reference, I mean, wow. Kaniela at Malibu is going to be a sight to be seen.
Yeah, you can do a couple different ways to do that texture deck. It looks like to me that he's basically got that, oh, look at that, tip ride.
So if we talk about, Kai talks about lift with his board. What we saw there with Justin is he had his board so far in the pocket, the tail weighted down, and he was levitating. And you have 2 different types of nose riding. So watch, he comes from behind the section, hasn't broken yet. He's at the top of the wave, gets it. Now that probably is a 10. His back foot is over the rail, and he's tucked in tight. So that's a super functional hang 10 for a tight wave like that. If you'd have both toes over the front, he would have outrun the section. There was no wall ahead of him there. But that's the judges obviously.
So it's almost a way to pace yourself, right? Like, and not overcook it and get too much speed.
You're lifting. You can lift that chest and soul arch, which is, we'll just watch Kani on this one and continue in a moment. So this might have been a defensive move there for Kani, with Justin dropping that 5.93. Seeing that left, going, okay, I need to keep him off this one.
I will say that it feels like backhand to be able to get that lift on the nose is way more challenging.
Under the priority of Justin Quintal is Kaniela Stewart taking off on this one. The current heat leader takes a trip to a nice hang 5 through that section. Great cross-stepping and footwork. A nice pivot turn there for Kaniela. Kani on the inside, looking to make the connection. Does so. Multiple steps in the way. Justin Quintal has been searching the lefts, finds it, finds a 5 to 10. Levitating there, and a big turn as he nears the piling here at Huntington Beach.
Needs a connection.
Quintal looking for the connection and does not get it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It seems like that pier bowl, very challenging. You know, once you get into that deeper water, that's all the current that was moving the other day with all that extra swell has created a much deeper hole in that zone.
Are progressing in this field. Here we go, Jay Quintal.
Absolutely. So tight 5, quick touch 10 for Justin. Now this one, he really needed the connection here, but it was very critical nose ride on the outside with that walled up left. A 6.23.
And knows that he has an advantage. He controlled. Quintal, though, sneaks over to a left, gets to the nose, gets some heels, and some great footwork to walk it back to the tail, and a little switch stance.
And watch this. I mean, now he snuck away to get this one to the tip. There it is, heels, and he held it for a bit too, which is pretty cool. You know, this is something we haven't seen. The judges haven't seen.
Here he goes. Got a plane in the middle of the board to get through this and into the shore break. He's not going to do it. Kaniela right behind him with some beautiful footwork and nose riding. Connie banks that section on the backhand. He's going to have to hang on through some turbulent water and does so.
Ooh.
Now kicking out, realizing maybe
he's
he
going
wants to race for priority.
Yeah, no, that's straight up defensive move there, and that's just competing right there. It's 4.5 minutes, understanding that priority is a very critical moment to have in the back half of the heat, and he's going to get it. The judges will score it.
And Kaniela gets a good ride on his own, but smart right here. Competing, right? Finishes off, sees where Quinny is, kicks out and goes, hey.
You know, from all of my experience watching these duct tape invitationals, he has been one of the most fierce competitors.
Kaniela uses his priority, a little defense at the beginning, now some offense as he surfs through this wave, wants to better his low of a 5.6. Some nice board redirecting there, weaving through the flat section on the inside here, gets a 5. That wave doubles way up, banks.
This is
a beautiful 2-for-1 finish for Kaniela Stewart.
He's going to better the 5.5 or the 5.6, right? He's going to the 5.6 actually came in from the wave previous, but this is it feels like to me it's going to be an improvement. Matt, would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. It was an offensive move for him to paddle for this wave, an opening 5. Now he sort of has to make a choice here. Does he pull out and go back and put pressure on Justin? No, he stays with it, and he knows that he had that 5.5, so he has to be dynamic here. Stepping back, moving rail to rail, stepping forward again. This is all part of the criteria, keeping flow, momentum. Steps back now. Keeps that hit and rolls out. And then another one for good measure, just for the crowd.
It's going to have
to be the opportunity, right?
Yep, going to have to be some clutch surfing for Justin Quintal. Here we go. To the nose. Gets a 10. Walks it on back. Tries to plane through this section to connect to the wedge coming at him. Little drop knee turn.
There's some energy in this one, Kaipo.
Energy carrying him to the shore break section. He's going to need a little bit more on this, making sure he's sticking with the wave. Quintal now looking to the right and hurls it in the shore break, and that is going to be the undoing of Justin Quintal. You can see the expression on his face.
Yeah, he needed something on that inside section. It just didn't provide it.
One more time, Peter.
Yeah, again, going towards that pier section, and he saw that there was some energy bubble next to the pier, stayed with it, kept the trim, was able to redirect, a little drop knee. Again, trying to showcase some sort of point of difference, but the inside just didn't provide it. It really didn't. It just shut down on him really quickly.
You know, it's he was the form surfer in this competition, but so was Kaniela in Manly. So Kaniela gets his revenge on the competitive spirits out there, and he gets a chance in the final.
It is going to be a final with Taylor Jensen and Kaniela Stewart. And that is the making of an incredible final as we look at Kaniela Stewart with a celebration in the water right now.
Gotta love it.